Hey, what's up, everybody, man? We back at it one more time, man. Hey, let's talk back at the hood table,
Yeah,
ladies and
the
gentlemen.
hood table
We are
talk back
glad
once
to be in the
again.
house. What?
Once again, minor setback. Our co-workers can't be here with us
Man,
tonight, but we just gonna keep on pushing
we
like
just
we
gonna keep on pushing, baby, like it ain't nothing. It's
hood
all
table,
good.
baby. Say what the fuck you wanna say, man.
That's right. We at the hood table. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make it work right here, right now. So we're gonna get into some stuff tonight, man. We really gonna get into some stuff, and we want to hear back from the folks that we're talking to. Hopefully we get an opportunity to, you know, chop some stuff up and maybe get some answers and get some resolve out of it. But first of all, I want to talk about this thing that's happening in with Puff Daddy. When you look at this, now I don't know what the man did. You know what I'm saying? They say he did a lot of stuff.
Right.
I hear a lot of people who are coming out of the woodworks. They talking about all this old funny behavior this dude have, on the side of, he don't know which way he want to go. He do men and do women. You know what I'm saying? He up in the air when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I got to say, hey man, them were grown men he was talking about. Some of them now some of the ladies now, there's a difference. He may have stepped across the line. You know what I'm saying? They were vulnerable women and they put themselves in a particular position because they thought this dude was going to lead them to their dream. And I get that. But what about some of them grown men that, now they're talking about, they heard him asking them or asking other people to do particular things, go to the club with him, go to the house with him, go shopping with him, and all this, man. And now, all this coming back.
It's a problem now.
It's a problem now. Everybody talking.
But it wasn't a problem when he was throwing all that money and all that this in your face. But you know what you were getting yourself into.
I'm right there too, man. Man, you knew what you wanted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He knew what he wanted. So now it is a problem. I'm talking about even them cats who are saying who have these positions in the industry now, who've made all this money. Hey man, when you started out, you were with P. Diddy.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If his behavior was so bad then, why y'all didn't check him on it? Because you had an inside motive too.
That's right.
You trying to get somewhere so you could be somebody. Now you gonna sit back on your hands and say, "Hey man, I told you that dude was like that."
Right.
Yeah, you were right there too.
But why would you want to wait till all these years to bring this out and expose people? Come on, man, that's crazy. But you right, you was there right there with him too.
Yeah.
So now it's a problem.
Now it's a problem. I hate it. I don't like people like that. Just to be honest, I don't. Simply because when they don't come out and say something, look at all the other people they damage.
Right.
Like, man, y'all could have been stopped this dude. That's like a rapist. A dude raped somebody. You know he raped him. You know what I'm saying? You see this, but nobody says anything about this. And I'm talking about this dude that attacked a vulnerable female. And you know this dude, he foul. But you don't say that because this dude got you jumping bricks. He got you with money in your pocket and all that. You don't say that. You know what I'm saying? And years go by. This dude done molested or raped 5, 6, 7 women. When the money run out and the dope run out, now you want to say, man, that nigga been raping folks for since 2005. 2005.
Right,
you just like, oh, you knew that? What about one of your daughters or sisters or so? So that's what I'm saying, man. Now you wait to want to make this information available to everybody, and now you really getting publicity off of it. Everybody got something to say. I'm like, hey man, it just they doing the Bill Cosby, the R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? And what's the dude from Guy? Aaron Hall.
Aaron Hall.
Yeah, they saying all these things about all these brothers. I get that. If they wrong, they wrong. But man, you telling me nobody says nothing until now. And I ain't talking about the women now, because I know sometimes that's an issue for women to come out and say, but I'm talking about all the partners and the friends that know this Negro is,
fouler than a mother.
Fouler than a mother. filing them. I'm talking about even Bill. If Bill, you were doing some of his partners know Bill was dropping that thing. He was dropping that thing on the women.
Oh, man, I'm talking about it. Bill ain't play with him, man.
You know what I'm saying? You look at R. Kelly, man. Look at R. Kelly. You think some of them, his all of his bodyguards, all of his entourage, and all of these people, nobody seen them for all these years.
Yeah, all these years and stuff, man. But and even though they know they can make money off this or whatever, but they ain't never said nothing. But now here come all this shit about P. Diddy and all this, man. What's up with that, man?
Yeah.
When y'all knew what y'all was getting yourself into, man.
Yeah.
You sold your soul to the devil. That's just point blank, man.
A lot of them did. I think it's simple as that. Why is it so easy for black people to sell their soul? I mean, I hear them talk about how foul the industry could be and the things they make. You got all kinds of celebrities coming out talking about it. Listen to Cat Williams, what he said on Club Shake Shake.
Right.
He said, hey, man, I was offered $50,000 or something.
To do a gay role.
A large amount of money. You know what I'm saying? And he said, the guy with the sideburns, you know what I'm saying? That's what he said. I didn't say that this was he said.
Right.
You know, the guy with the sideburns, we was up for the same thing. Right. He the millionaire now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, hey man, what's going on with this? Why is it so easy? Is it that we that hungry for money?
I don't get it, man. We fucked up. We really, like I said before, and I say it again, our race is fucked up, man. Yeah. It's just point blank about it, man. We just fucked. Anytime you sit there and sell your ass or whatever you want to do for some money, you fucked up, man. You just sick, man. You just nasty as fuck, man. I ain't no way impossible. I'm finna sell my ass just to get rich, man. That shit ain't gonna happen, man. This is a hood tape. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say. It's just a proven fact, man. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna sell my motherfucking ass, my pride, for some goddamn money, man. And that, oh, come on, man. I know that shit fuck with these people every day, bro. Yeah. I know it.
But then there's some people that don't even care.
They don't care.
Some like, hey man, I rather have money. I don't care how bad the relationship is. I got a roof over my head. He giving me money. I got a car and all that, and the relationship horrible.
Horrible.
You know what I'm saying? But you stay in it because of the paper. Because you still there. You still going through the same thing. And so I look from that perspective. Is it that from our society perspective, you know, and I'm gonna use black people because I'm a black man, and you look at the history of our society of black people, where we came from, you know, when we had something, were transitioned into this country, everything stripped from us, even our name, our culture, our heritage, stripped from us to a degree.
Right.
And we had to start from the bottom and work our way up. Is it in that transition we decided somewhere in our brains that we're going to do whatever it takes to get what the white man got? And have, you do know that's why we have integration and all of that. It's because black people wanted to be equal or treated equally as white people. That's why we got integration. Right. That's why we're where we are now. Because we wanted to be like the white man. We wanted to go to the white universities. We wanted to drive the white man's car. We wanted to wear the nice clothes like the white man. We wanted to do all of those things. In some way, it corrupted our thinking.
Right.
And now, as we matriculate into these contemporary times, man, we find ourselves at a disadvantage because, hey, they selling butt on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
That shit just.
I mean, you can get whatever you want on Facebook, just about, man. You can find somebody and do if you got the right paper. If you have the money, I think there's pretty much nothing you can't get. You know what I'm saying? And P. Diddy, look at them. P. Diddy, R. Kelly, Aaron Hall, Bill Cosby, and countless others who have not been exposed yet that have been doing or practicing this type of behavior since they got money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why is it that we sometimes find ourselves in the worst condition or the worst position when it comes to that.
I don't know, man. We always in the worst position, man. It just proven fact, man. Everybody else moving on, sticking together. We the only motherfuckers ain't sticking together, man. But when it comes to some bullshit like this, oh, here come all these media, all this bullshit, want to downrate these people. But they know what they were getting into. They know what these people had going on.
Yeah.
So now they want to downrate all these black people, all this with this gay shit.
And they take all their friends to come out to really do it.
That's right.
People who they say was in their camp or part of the entourage, or I've been knowing them for 15, 20 years and all of this stuff. And the man been doing, you got bodyguards coming out and talking, and you got co-workers coming out and talking, and ex-artists that were part of that camp and now somewhere else talking. Like, hey man, that's sad, man. That's crazy. But the truth of the matter is, we still get treated the same. We still get treated worse. Because you find all of these black people, when you think of Bill Cosby, you think, hey man, they sent him to prison. When you think of R. Kelly, you think, hey man, they sent him to prison. Now we got another prominent figure, Puff Daddy. They're gonna send him to prison.
They're gonna send him to prison.
More than likely, they're gonna send him to prison.
He's going to prison.
So we got it. What is it that makes us want to continue down these pathways, man? Is it really money, or is it something else like power? I can control, man. I can make this person do. You heard what Donald Trump said in his first election? Donald Trump said in his first election, he said he can grab them by the blank, blank, blank. Ain't nothing gonna happen. He said he can kill a joke in the middle of Manhattan or in the middle of the street, and ain't nothing gonna happen. So that's not money, that's power.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we're hungry for power versus money. So we that's something we need to think about as a society, as a people, man. We got to think about our moral position. We got to think about the direction that we're going in, because we are consistently filling the bed in the jailhouse, in the prison, in the work camps, in the prison system. We're consistently doing that, and a lot of times it's because we're hungry for power. And you got many people who are like that, even if it's just that power that you get in the street with your reputation, that people know you're a bad guy, people know you got a gun, people know you're gonna pop somebody. And that's power in itself, man. You can walk somewhere and people know you, they know your name, they respect you like that, because and I think sometimes we're misconstrued in our position of power, not really understanding how to utilize the power that we have to influence for the greater good instead of to command control for our own advantage. Sometimes that's what we at.
And that shit, I think that money shit be blinding these motherfuckers, man.
Yeah.
And until it's too late, like for instance, R. Kelly and all that shit. Let me take these people all these years to see this shit, but they already knew that this man like the young people from Aaliyah. Yeah. Come on, man. Now everybody want to come out.
Everybody
like Bill Cosby.
Mm-hmm. Everybody
saying something easy. Okay, that's an easy lick.
Yeah.
Easy money. I ain't got shit, so I might well join the party.
Might as well.
Come on, man. See that?
It don't make sense, man.
It don't make sense, man.
But we really gotta delve a little deeper into this and understand why we're doing this stuff, man. But we want to shift gears, man. We want to understand relationships. That's just because these are what he called relationships. But as we move a little further into what relationships are, man, we want to ask the question about the relationships that we have with our significant. What does that look like? With your own woman, with your husband, or with your wife, you in the house with them. What type of relationship is that when you think about it from this perspective? I heard a brother, a brother asked this question. He say, what do I do if I got a girl? This is girl now, you know what I'm saying? And she don't give me neck like I want it. And it seemed like a problem when I asked, you know what I'm saying? what should I do? Now another brother responds. Another brother responds and say, well, I mean, you got to check yourself. You know, if this is what you know you like, this is what you know you like. Um, this is something you should have had a conversation about. He said, man, I ain't saying like, you know, you're going to ask this chick at dinner, hey, I like head. So, you know, I got to get some head 2-3 times a week.
Right.
If you ain't with that, I ain't with you. It ain't like that. But at some point, when do you talk with your girl or with your wife? I mean, with your significant. How do you have that conversation? You say, okay, we talking about relationship now. How do you come out and say, man, I like a little head in a couple of days?
If you know your other half, shit, it ain't gonna be no problem with the action like that.
Yeah.
Cause shit, if that's what I want and that's what I like, I'm gonna ask her, baby, why you ain't never give me no goddamn head, man? What's wrong with that, man?
But this people ain't gonna ask that though. This people ain't gonna say, you know, they may sit in this spot and say, my soul might give me some head in their mind.
Right.
And they saying it, they thinking it, but that just ain't happening. So what does that person do?
See, in their mind, they feel like that he ain't gotta ask.
Yeah.
She supposed to do that for off real.
Yeah.
No, hell no. Like they say, closed mouths don't get fed, bro.
Okay.
But if I'm taking care of the house and I know this ain't, and I'm giving you signs that this what I like and you ain't producing, it's a problem.
I think it is a problem.
It's a problem. I really don't even supposed to ask you for that shit.
I see Francine say you should talk about that before you even get serious with that person. But is that a conversation we can have? I'm talking about
nah, that is when you first meet them. Nah, that's uncomfortable. Like that's like if you have a conversation. That kind of fucked me up right there.
Yeah, because you know I don't know if that's a conversation you can have. You know, you meet this and you meet a chick, man. And first off meeting a chick, man, it might be you might get the whole nine.
Right.
You might get a little bit of everything. But as the relationship evolves and you get there, you like you there. You know she there, I'm there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the sexual behavior changes. Where does the man go from that point? When the sexual behavior changes with his significant other, what do you do or what do you say in that situation? I mean, you got time in your night. You've been there, but you still these are some of your desires. You know what I'm saying? Do you say, hey, listen, this what got to happen. This way I'm at. I'm feeling like I need some head every couple of days, or at least every now and then, or
I would just come out straight and say, baby, I need some goddamn head, man. Fuck all that, man. Now, if I'm gonna go down on you, shit, I need you to do the same, man. We got to be 50-50 in this thing, man.
But what if she don't care anything about that either? You going down on her. I mean, that might be beneficial or pleasurable for you trying to please her. But if she don't care, where we at? We still at the same place. Right?
But why if she don't care and I know that I love this shit, it's a problem. I that's why we go to get it from somewhere else. Okay, we could be in the household and all that shit there, but she'll see the change in me and in our sex move.
That's kind of tough. But what if you invested? You know, you got kids there now. Y'all.
Oh no! If I'm investing, she gonna have to tighten up.
She gonna have to tighten up.
Man, she gonna have to tighten up. If I'm investing, doing what I'm supposed to do, and handling my bids and all that shit there. And I like what I like, and I ain't going out there doing fucking up on you. Come on, baby. You know you got to tighten up.
But why so many men find themselves in that position though? That you know this is happening statistically. This is happening in 6 out of 10 marriages. This is happening.
Right.
It is coming to a place where even the sex is haphazard. You know what I'm saying? But yet we have this issue with you going out.
Right.
You don't want your man to go out and
all that right.
cheat on you, and he got all these other women and all of this stuff, but yet at the same time you don't want to perform the way. Now it may be something, I don't know. Women get older, men get older. There are issues that may take place with the body. But should you try to address that? Should you say, okay, if you got a problem, your meat won't get right, you won't get hard like it used to be. This is what your wife like. Will you work on that? Will you go somewhere to a doctor, get you some Viagra, Cialis, or whatever the case, so that you perform right? Is that not the same for the woman? Should she go out and find something, whether it's hormones, estrogen, whatever she has to take to try to put herself back in that place?
See, for me, man, shit like that happen, right? So I'm gonna have to go to I'm gonna just have to go baby freak on her, man.
Yeah.
I just gotta go 12 play on mine, man. Yeah. I ain't fuck all that. Once you go to 12 play, you're like old school way, brother. You can't go wrong, man. Yeah. So I don't understand it though. What the problem is, man? What is the problem that you can't give me that same satisfaction if I'm getting you this 12 play? This is what I thought it was about. Yeah. Everybody, we together in this shit, man.
Some people, it's sad. Some people think sex ain't important in marriage.
Yeah, that's what I think it's very important. It is very important. What you say?
I say it's very important.
It's very important.
I mean, at the top of the list, I say
man, it's just goddamn show list.
I say it's in the top 3. But there's so many don't feel like that.
Why? But that's motherfucker that you call them out, and you get in an argument, and you call them out, and they start saying ignorant shit. Man, why you always talking about sex, man? That shit ain't no factor in a relationship. That ain't more. Okay, it ain't important, but it is important.
Yeah, I would certainly say that it's one of the top 3 things.
It is one of the top 3 things
in a relationship, because 9 times out of 10, that's what causes the disruption in relationships. Sex. I said 9 times. It could be other things, that can happen, but more often than not, it's because your sexual relationship has died.
Nah, you ain't performing. He ain't getting hard no more. Yeah. All this shit. Yeah.
Unless some people, I guess after you get older, some people find themselves in a place where I don't want no sex. I don't. But you got to think about the dude that's still,
yeah, that's right.
Still active.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? You still feel like you got his youth. And then you think about, in this day and time, man, they got all types of drugs.
Viagra, all that stuff, man. All that shit, man.
They say Stella got her groove back. You know what I'm saying? We have to understand that we're in a time and a place where, hey, man, I can do that. I can understand back 25 years ago, 30 years ago, when there were all of these different medications that can help you get your thump back. But now, when you're living in this time, what could be the possible reason? Is it just something you don't enjoy? Or is it this is just something that, you don't want to partake in anymore? And should you tell your man, or should you tell your woman? Huh?
The dude, Kevin, he just said the roles has made it hard for the men.
so that's what they're doing. They rather get the toy than get the real thing.
I don't understand. What's so real? But I guess it's different pleasure. I don't know. If I'm doing good and shit, what the fuck you need a toy for? If I'm giving you what you want and all that, I'm making you nut, come, whatever you want to do. What do you need a toy in the house for?
It's crazy. I see Francine says, I think romance, loyalty, and honesty is important in a relationship. And when you have all of those things in your relationship, sex comes easy. Does it? I know that's what you're saying, but does it? And we hear from a woman's perspective, man.
She tried to roll back with the bullshit.
Well, see, there you go. So it ain't all the time. So you gotta think, man. Men, there was an old a book long time ago came out says men are from Mars, women are from Venus. So what that is saying is it's like we're from two different planets, man. It don't take a whole lot to please man. It don't really take a whole lot to please me, man. That's real talk, man. I go out and chop down trees, man. I slay the lion, man. I bring home the bread, the bacon, and the little ham and all that too. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it won't take but a little bit from me. You know what I'm saying? Not a whole lot, man. Just a little bit. So I'm thinking, man, we may not be the most romantic as men. Men are just actually, we may not be that romantic. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the love that we have and the care and the concern that we have for them should supersede any of our oversight, if I should say that. You know what I'm saying? Supersede some of our oversight. And so they should understand, hey man, I gotta take care of this man. I gotta take care of this man. You know,
they should already know that. So Latasha Jones said, what is the point of the show?
The point of the show is we're just talking about relationship. And, we got some information from another show where a guy was talking about this. He just posed that question. What should he do in his relationship if he's not getting satisfied in the way that he like? Should he leave the relationship or not? And so the host says, well, this is something that you should have a conversation about, or you should have had a conversation about in the onset of the relationship. So we're talking about how do we continue to move forward in this relationship. We started out with P. Diddy. P. Diddy had a lot of relationships, man. Some of them are unsolicited relationships. He forced himself on people and all of these particular things to do probably some ungodly things, you know what I'm saying? But what about in a relationship where two compatible people are there and they agree to, cohabitate and move forward in this relationship?
I think communication is the key.
Yeah.
Communication is the key, man. Mm-hmm. So this is my thing here. So it's all right for them to have roles and these dildos and all that. Yeah. But it's nasty when we go to Pornhub to handle ideas and jacking ideas. It's nasty. But y'all can use the roles and all that stuff. But what's the difference? Yeah. Please make sense of that. If I want to satisfy, if your period on, would you rather for me to go in there to look at Pornhub and get off on that motherfucker bathroom and for me to rather me go out there in the streets or something? If I'm really feeling this shit, come on, man, make sense of that shit, man. I'm gonna watch Pornhub. They took Pornhub away from us. They took it away. Man, they taking it away from us, man. So I'm gonna watch Pornhub, man. Yeah. For real, man.
So in a relationship, man, we gotta think about it. It has to be. It has to be some compatibility in the relationship. And not only does it have to be some compatibility, it has to be some passion in the relationship, man, in order for it to work. Otherwise, man, it's a difficult task in it working, man. You know what I'm saying? Because as we continue to go further down the road, we continue to get further away from each other instead of getting closer to each other. Because we lack communication.
We lack communication.
That's right. Man, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. And I think as relationships get older, instead of getting better, they get worse. That's statistically they have, but I think they can get better. If we start focusing on particular things, hey man, one, we gotta communicate better.
We gotta communicate. You know what I'm
saying? And even when I look at my own relationship, I feel like I can communicate better. When I should, I don't. You know what I'm saying? We find ourselves at a disadvantage more often than not because men sometimes hide their feelings.
That's right.
It be in our head. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say all this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm going to say all this stuff in here. You know what I'm saying? And then end up not saying it. And so I think a lot of times that jeopardizes your relationship. No different than the conversation that the guy had with the young man who was asking the question in the audience. Hey man, what should I do from here? The man said, right, you should communicate. You should have been talking to her. I'm not saying that you should have done this from the beginning, but at some point in time, you should have done this long before you got to this place where you said, man, I'm this drunk. What should I do?
Right.
You should have discussed this or had that discussion. So now you guys can start moving forward. And I think a lot of times we find ourselves like that in relationships, man.
Yeah, shit. It don't take no rocket science. Shit, 4 or 5 times. If you ain't doing nothing, I'm okay. It's finna be a problem. I gotta say something. Let me tell my old lady, we need to sit down and talk about this, man. For real. Now, if you know that person, that other person, yeah, it's communication. You got to communicate. You got to. If you ain't got no communication, you ain't got your shit nothing, man. You ain't got yourself nothing.
It's tough.
It's tough, right?
You think about when P. Diddy, all this stuff going on with P. Diddy, man, and all the women and men that have possibly been, allegedly been, tampered with or something to that effect. Something has happened. And thinking about them and the relationships that they had after this dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's another component. If something that they've done with somebody or in previous relationships has traumatized them, that certainly should be something that should be talked about, because otherwise it hinders this relationship.
That's right. They fuck with this relationship, the next relationship. Mm-hmm. That's right. So if they force this upon a woman like that, oh yeah, that the next relationship is out of control. It's fucked up. It's gonna be fucked up.
It certainly is, man. So we want people to understand, man. This is about, when we're in relationships, man. There gonna be ups and downs. There's gonna be good and bad
all the time.
But what do we have that stays constant? That stays constant with us, which allows us to continue to build a relationship and continue to keep the relationship, man. And I think a lot of times we miss it. We miss it, and then we're not just in a relationship anymore. We just cohabitating. We're just in a place where we're moving forward.
Right.
We're just moving forward because we're comfortable with moving forward. And a lot of times we're at that space, man, which is unfortunate, in one way or another. Because one, we could possibly be wasting each other's time. Two, instead of working on it, we just cohabitate. We could be actually, let's work on this. Let's mend this, man. Because you ain't getting no younger, you ain't getting no better. You got to do something to try to mitigate circumstances for us. So people say communicate. I hear everybody say communicate, but do we?
We don't. We definitely don't.
We just talk about how P. Diddy is and think about all the people who knew about all of this stuff happening, and nobody said it. Even the victims, man. Look how long it took Cosby's victims to come out. For one reason or another, something traumatized them to a degree that stuff they don't want to talk. Most victims of trauma don't really want to relive that trauma or talk about that trauma. And I think those individuals should get some type of therapy.
That's right.
Because it's going to hinder or hurt their relationship at that time, man, with that other individual who ain't did nothing to you. Ain't harmed you in no way, but yet you're kind of like this. So how do we get around that? I mean, even as a man in that relationship, how you change that? Can it be changed?
Yeah, it can be changed, man. So like I say, communication is the key, man. So go back to the beginning, man. You got to know a person. You got to know a person first before you do all this other bullshit, lay up with them and all that shit. That you got to know these people first, man. You just can't lay up with anybody, man. You got to know these people first, man. Yeah. What's wrong with getting to know somebody first before laying up with them, man?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That makes sense, man.
It makes a lot of sense, man.
Operating now.
Yeah, they ain't operating like that. These motherfuckers just laying up just to be laying up, man. Come on, man.
And that's why I think if you're in a relationship, man, I think you should work on that relationship.
That's right.
More so now than ever before.
Especially when you got especially when you got history together.
That's right.
Man, you know, ain't hell I'm finna sit there and let another motherfucker. I got 10 years, 12, 15 years with this girl, and I'm finna sit there and let another motherfucker come in my shit. Yeah. Got me fucked up. Oh, man, you play too much, man. Ain't no way impossible that gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
If a motherfucker sit there and say they don't give a fuck, they lying.
Yeah.
Because soon as it happens, they want to kill the whole goddamn house.
They do, man.
Come on, man. This is a community where you got to know a person first before you be doing all this extra bullshit, man. For real, you got to.
We got to find out. We got to find out what makes this work. I mean, in order to kind of make it work. Because sometimes, we find ourselves in this place where, we don't really think about sometimes all the investment that we have in it. And and I ain't just talking about the things we've accumulated, but the time we got together, man. You think about you've been in a relationship for 10 years with somebody. Now, I ain't saying that it was a horrible relationship, because I can understand walking out a horrible relationship, but really not a horrible relationship, but it lacked a few key things that make it a really good relationship. It'd be difficult to walk out of those types, man, to say that, hey, man, I don't care, I'm gonna go. You've been here 10 years and you got all of this stuff accumulated and you got all this time in. Relationship ain't all that bad. You just ain't getting what you want. You know what I'm saying? So are you still leaving this relationship? No, as you said. I'm not. But why do so many?
So why so many dudes leaving?
Yeah, why so many?
I guess that's because this shit. Sometimes you just get fed up, man. Sometimes you just ain't get what you want up out of it, bro. Yeah. And sometimes you get fed up with the arguing. You motherfucker just sitting there chilling. They just go to. It's a lot of things could make this. It just that shit just ain't. If it ain't right, it ain't right. Even if you're trying to make that shit right, man. If it ain't there, it ain't there no more. You might well let it go. Shit, it gonna hurt. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it ain't gonna hurt. But shit, I can't stay somewhere that I ain't comfortable at. Yeah. Come on, man. That's common sense.
But what if this the same stuff that's been going on for the last 10 years? Or since you first put together, you seen these behaviors and you seen this action when you first got together, but yet you decided at that time to say, okay, man, I'm gonna work with this, I'm gonna ride this out. And it never changed.
Right.
So at what point do you say, okay, fuck it, I'm just leaving now?
But see, that's the thing is, that's the motherfucker that tend to dick. He ain't ready to go nowhere. He wants to stay there. But the woman ain't with the shit. That means she got some motherfucking body. She been fucking. Fuck that. She been fucking. So that means that's what she ain't interested in you no more. Your shit is out. Your shit dead. So you might as well just go and get you a baby Viagra or something and get it together or show her or whatever, take her out or something or do something. Because what you got going, that shit dead. But the next motherfucker getting her, she excited about it. Okay. So she ain't trying to make this shit work. Yeah. So, okay, if I feel like, okay, man, fuck it, I might as well just go and let it go. Just walk away from it, man, and take care of the kid.
Cheryl said people stop celebrating each other. You think? I mean,
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think that's it's up and down though. It's up and down. I mean, there are moments that we can celebrate each other. Think about it. In this long relationship, it's something about keeping it consistent because we're growing.
Right.
As we're moving through this. And sometimes we become less tolerable than more tolerable of things that you say, well, I should have changed. And that may be a reason why you can't continue to celebrate people. You think so? Like you said, okay, it's been 10 years. What makes me not celebrate my woman? Or my woman not celebrate me? What makes that happen? Why do you get to that place where you can't celebrate them anymore? Is it dislike and you just cohabitating? You just moving forward because y'all have accumulated all this stuff and y'all got all this time in together and you don't want no Negro to just walk in off the street and take your place? Huh?
I don't know, man. That shit crazy though, man. I don't know, man. If I keep trying and that shit ain't working, man, and I know that I'm the only one trying to push the relationship, she ain't trying with me, I know that shit dead on real. There ain't no use me being there. I I can't make her do something that she don't want to do.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's kind of, it's weird, when you've been in a relationship a long time, and I think sometimes you become complacent, even in saying I love you. It's that I love you.
yeah,
I mean, I say it all the time,
right. But they want to
you
hear
know
that.
and we find ourselves that, and I'm talking about me, and we go back to what I said earlier, man. It ain't difficult. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. We're from two different planets, man. And I know how much I care. I know how much I love you, and all of this stuff, man. And it ain't that I'm just negating to say that just ain't me sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do say it sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's not the same when you should be saying it at particular times and you don't. You should be doing particular things that you don't do.
See that thing, that type of shit there.
I'm kind of stuck in that.
Yeah, that type of shit there. When we try to say I love you, man, we don't really want to say that shit, but we do love them. Yeah. Well, we say it because we want to make them happy and stuff. Yeah, but some people just say that it'd be like hard for a motherfucker to say that shit when you ain't feeling that shit. Well, why is you still there?
Yeah.
Why is you still there if you know you don't love this person no more?
Yeah.
So what it is that keeping me there? Mm-hmm. Why is you still there?
Yeah.
If I can't wake up and tell you, baby, I love you and you beautiful, and I go 2 or 3 days without saying no shit like that, or ask you how, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong.
Okay.
Either I'm getting tired of you, or you getting you some dick somewhere else, or I don't know. It's just something wrong. So we need to fix this shit, man.
Now that's where we at. I think that's what we have to do. We have to look, and we have to be more methodical in our looking to see, hey man, I mean, even at our own self and saying, thinking about the things we don't do, man. The things that, and I'm gonna look at my own self and say the things that I don't do that I think I should, because I know just through the matriculation of time, relationships kind of become complacent. Relationships become complacent. We're comfortable with each other.
Right.
We ain't really necessarily looking for nobody else or none of that stuff. But at the same time, we ain't kindling this fire
like
that we had.
Like we first started all right.
Yeah, man. And so the relationship kind of becomes complacent, and now we're just moving down the line. You know what I'm saying? And both of us kind of have gotten to this place where, it's we together. I love you. I know you love me. We together. We moving. But it's not a whole lot of the affection.
Yeah, there ain't no more. That spunk ain't in that shit no more.
Yeah. I think that becomes a big issue in relationships sometimes, man. And I'm gonna go back to men. I think a lot of times it's our fault. Especially when you come up, like, just say, for instance, jokers like us, when you come up in the streets, not, what I mean, if you come up, in a particular lifestyle and a way of life, and you live a certain way, you might have had 3-4 different girlfriends, already before you had this girl, right. And the way you lived, you had no real commitment to them or none of that stuff. And you learning a relationship. When y'all got together, you say you want to be with this person, you're at that time, you want to commit yourself, and you really starting to try, let me learn how to be a honest, good partner for this other person. You know what I'm saying? And that's something it's difficult, man. And you started learning, you still have some of those old behaviors as you keep moving down the line. Whereas, when you was living that type of life, you ain't telling every chick you love them all the time, all of that, and you moving back and forth and all of that stuff, man. But then when you get in a relationship with somebody that you're committed to, you have to learn how to do better. And for some of us, unfortunately, we don't have that example to say, hey, man, I really don't know how to be. I know how to be a provider. I know how to be a man but I really don't know how to be that affectionate person because I live my life like this, man. Right. I was always on the guard. I'm always, I'm ready for it. I'm always on the defense and all that. And sometimes people don't see that in the man. The woman may think, oh, it's just this nigga. But hey, man, I was always on the defense, man. I was always in a position where I'm on guard. So I really don't want to let my true feelings show all the time. You know what I'm saying? And even being in a relationship for a while, you still have all of those behaviors and those traits, man. And so that's tough sometimes, man. And a lot of times women don't see that, and they think it's just that you don't care.
No, it ain't that.
But it's not, man.
It's definitely not that, man. It's just that for me personally, shit, a relationship, only thing I hated in my relationship is when I shit. Yeah. I hate that. Got that I shit. Every time you get mad at me, it's I deal with all this. I did this all by myself. Yeah. Okay, well, goddamn, what the fuck I was. When all this other when I was giving you all my money and all this bullshit here. But now you mad, now you want to kick me out, and now you did all this by my goddamn self. Come on, man. See, men get tired of hearing that shit, man. It's a week. It ain't no such thing as no relationship. Yeah. Come on, man.
It's tough. It's tough.
You got to go, just like you said, you got to go above and beyond to satisfy a goddamn woman, boy.
Oh, it's tough.
It's tough, boy. You can't figure no. If you trying to figure a woman out, you fucked up because you ain't gonna figure them out.
It's tough, man.
It's real tough, man.
But at the same time, man, we understand that women are more sensitive creatures, man. I still go back to the conversation that the gentleman had with this young brother, saying this is what I like, and the other brother saying, well, this is the conversation you should have had. They've gotten into this relationship and had poor communication, man, and that's that's crazy, man. So we think about what is called the 5 love languages. Words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So physical touch is part of one of the love languages.
That's right.
But, we have these components where we have affirmations, positive affirmations, letting her know, how much you love her, how much you care for her, how beautiful she is, and things like that. You have acts of service, things that you do for her. You know what I'm saying? The way you might clean the house, clean, things of that nature. Give her gifts, things that you think, Now, sometimes we can hit a couple of them, and I'm going to speak for me. I may have hit a couple of them, but sometimes I find myself where I miss a few, like affirmations. Saying, baby, you look good, you look nice, you're beautiful.
Right.
You got a nice hairdo. All of these things like that.
Baby want to hear that shit sometimes. They want to hear that, man.
And it's unfortunate that so many of us kind of miss
that, right?
We're in the love language circle, but sometimes we're only focused on what, like physical touch.
Physical touch.
I'm loving them, hugging them, squeezing them, touching them, rubbing and all that.
But you ain't giving them that touch that they want, that they used to, that rub, that nice rub test of what they want from their man and shit. But hey, come on, man. We men, we kind of baby rough. We're a little rough on the ground.
Yeah.
So see, come on, man. We'll get it together.
Yeah. And then think about, what about this quality time? What does that look like? Even when you have kids, we gotta make time. What if that's when your schedule busy? You gotta make time. It becomes difficult. Like we run a couple businesses.
Right.
You think about that. You gotta swear out some time, and that just wasn't me. Me, I'm from the bottom up, so I'm always on the grind. Always. I'd rather work than take vacation because I know I gotta accumulate and I gotta stack But that's my thinking. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When she would say, let's go on vacation, I would be like, man, I got something to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and you think about these particular things where you can spend that quality time. And the times that we have, it makes it a lot better. And so I think we have to, there are things we have to learn as men. I don't care how long we've been in a relationship, man. There may be components of that love language that we're not actually addressing.
Right.
You know, whether it be quality time, whether it's physical touch, whether it's positive affirmations or gifts or you know whatever it is, we may not be hitting them all, man. And I think the more we practice, the better we'll become. Because that's what I got to do, and that's what it made me think about what I may have to.
But is it enough? But is it going to be enough? Because you know when we get that to when it ain't enough, that it's never enough for them, man. We can spend a whole week with them straight, and then we get ready to go somewhere for one day. What about you think you're going? Why are you going out there? Who you? I just spent the whole goddamn week with you straight. I can't have one day out of this. Shit like that, man. You got to get the same thing what I'm giving out to you, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. You got to, man. That's the only way this shit gonna work, man. Communication is the key, man.
That's correct. Oh, Kevin say, but you don't need to have to teach a man how to be a good man, and I get that.
You don't.
You don't. Those are things that he can do, and then it becomes what is a good man.
That's what I'm saying. Why would I want to be good to a motherfucker that gonna knock me down and she started going out here to the club, to the streets, and all this shit? Why would I want to do that? Come on, man. You got to be on the same page. Come on, man. Come on.
Man, we gotta. Yeah, it's just that. We gotta make some adjustments, man. When you have young cats talking like that, saying, "Man, I don't know," I think about older cats who are in that very place and are not communicating.
They ain't not communicating.
Could have good woman.
Good woman. Yeah, some of them out there, good woman.
The wedge becomes the poor communication that y'all have. You know what I'm saying? That becomes a wedge, and then you know it gets further and further divided because now it becomes a temperament on both sides. I feel some type of way, you feel some type of way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of just saying, okay, how can we work on this?
Make this shit work, man. How can we make this work?
Yeah.
But you know, that's how that vulnerable shit come in at, man. Women want to be heard. They want you to listen to them. That's all they want somebody, their man to give them their ear.
Yeah.
They just want somebody to listen to them, pay attention to them. Yeah. But then if you don't, that shit start getting part way of all that shit there. Here comes this another dude. Okay, niggas know when a motherfucker be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Shit, they pray off that shit. Yeah. They know when a motherfucker want to be vulnerable.
They do.
Come on, man. And that's when another nigga in that ear. Come on, man. You know how that shit go, Will. You know how that shit go, man.
Doing their little Facebook thing.
Come on, man. Texting, come on,
man. Stuff, man.
Oh, I'm just on Facebook on social media. Just be like, no, come on, baby.
All that stuff.
Yeah, man. Well, if you got a good man or whatever, what do you need Facebook for? Yeah. What do you need it for?
Occupy time.
Yeah, what you need it for?
It's a tough thing, man. You know, we gotta understand. It becomes tough, especially if you're in a relationship with someone who's been traumatized before, and you know it's difficult to talk with this person or get information from this person. That makes a relationship that much more tumultuous sometimes. You know, think about people who were in relationships with Sean P. Diddy Combs, and allegedly were, you know, assaulted in some way, shape, or form, or allegedly something was done to them that hurt them or traumatized them in some way, shape, or form. So you think about all of that stuff, and you have to think about, hey man, what happens when they move to the next relationship? What happens? How does that relationship look? Will it survive or will it not? I see Francine saying a good man. He might be a good man, but he might not know how I want my body to be pleased and pampered. So a grown woman will not allow this to continue. She will slow him down and lead him to the promised land. So both of them will be pleased.
Okay, you supposed to do that. If I'm going down on you and I'm just straight slobbing on that bitch, I ain't doing nothing right in that. You supposed to stop me in stride. Hey, baby, you it's wet down there, baby. You ain't doing nothing. All you doing is got me wet and ain't touching nothing. Come on, man. Nah, you supposed to, okay, this how you supposed to tell them how you want your shit. Well, one thing gotta tell me how they want their shit eat. I already know what to do. Shit, I don't know what you got going on. I don't bitch ain't gonna coach me on no motherfucking sex. Fuck you mean?
But this is, we relationships is tough, man.
That shit is tough, man. That shit make you go crazy, man.
It's tough, man. Especially, you thinking about it. And I'm thinking about, again, man, it goes back to our topic conversation. We was talking about P. Diddy. And you hear all these people coming out of the woodworks talking about his sexual prowessness and how he behaved or conducted themselves. And then there are people who are insinuating that he did things to people, women and men. And you look at what happens after the aftermath of P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying? If he did all these things, think about the relationships that these people are in. How are they? Are they dysfunctional relationships or what? We're talking about relationships that people are in and they're moving forward. They done had children, but still the trauma from these previous relationships, they brought all that baggage to this relationship. And now we're at this place where we're both at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? It's tough.
I don't know, man. I just think that's bullshit. What they talking about, people all that extra traumatized bullshit because they already know what they was getting into. It's just money. That's all these motherfuckers do. It's just money.
It's money.
Man, it's just money, man. They just out to destroy this boy, man.
Money has a lot to do with it.
Money got a lot to do with this shit, man.
Yeah. So we really want to look from a perspective, man, where we can see the relationships that we are in and the relationships that have faltered. Whose fault was it? Like the young man stood up and asked, he said, should I leave? Even in asking that question, you still have to ask the question, whose fault is it that you're right here, right now, contemplating leaving? Whose fault is that? Is it your fault? Is it something that you're going to take responsibility of and say, okay, man, yeah, it was me, man. I need to get myself in check, man. There's some things that I really need to do as far as my relationship to make this thing work right. Or is it really her fault? Is it this something that, hey, man, I need to walk away from this and salvage what I got left of my manhood?
I'm not gonna walk away from something that I know I don't build, and I know that, and I know both we can work on this shit and communicate and get our shit back together like we had it and stuff. I'm not just gonna sit there and just walk away for something I don't build. Because you ain't sucking my dick or not some shit like that. No, we finna talk about this shit.
Yeah.
We finna talk about this shit. Hey man, get you up and go and get a babysitter. We don't give a fuck how much it costs. We finna go out and have a dinner. We finna talk about this shit, man.
Yeah.
What our wrongs and what we need to do, what we need to change, what we need to make this shit better. Come on, man. There ain't no way impossible. Communication ain't no way impossible to let this 10-year, 15-year shit go just like that, bro.
It's too long.
It's been too long, man. It's too long.
You got Latasha says that when you live an ungodly life and you have a relationship with ungodly people, you expect for ungodly things to happen. So I get it. So
hey man, you already know this the hood table, baby. Hey, man, I love my God to death, man. I just ain't find the right one to make godly. Shit, I just ain't find the right one to make godly. So whatever it takes, you curse me out or whatever. I just ain't find the right one to make me got it. The point blank.
So I get, I see what you said, you know, but everybody that gets together are not godly either.
That's right.
They may say they got it.
They might say that.
They may not.
But they ain't got it.
So hey man, so it's a two-way street. It's a two-way street. So I get it. You expect for ungodly things to happen, she said. So I'm just thinking if you're talking about two people who have a foundation in church, they're divorcing more in church than in.
That's right. Right.
You know, worldly people ain't really getting married too much no more.
That's right.
So all the divorcees are formerly Christians. I mean, the greater percentage of it
is Christians.
because during this contemporary times, many of them are not getting married. Really, just non-church goers. They just choosing to cohabitate, to live together because it makes it easier for them. They can bounce out when they want. But I get that part too, man. When you're dealing with someone who has no moral compass, then there's no real expectation for that person. And their partner should be able to see if their partner is a believer and they're not. And at some point, you'll see, well, either you'll stand this or not, because there's no real expectation for this person. This person is still living an ungodly life. And they have no moral compass, and this is what they're gonna do, and they're gonna do that. So either you're gonna accept it, or you're gonna say, "Hey, man, I throw my hands up. That's it. I'm done with that." Otherwise, you're gonna say, "Okay, how do I? What did you just say earlier, Musa? Make them godly."
Yeah, you got it.
Can you do that?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
But you can lead them.
You can lead them. You can lead them.
I'm a proven fact that you can lead a person.
That's right. You can lead to God. You
Yeah,
can lead a person to God. All you gotta do is just keep talking about it. If she just don't decide to stay there, she gonna jump right on in with it. Yeah, so you can.
You can guide a person.
You definitely can guide a person.
You can guide a person, but it's still gonna be based off how you live.
That's how you live. That's right.
Based on your direction for this individual that impacts them. You may not have to push them, prod them, or agitate or aggravate them, but it's how you live and how you're treating them. It may impact their behavior one way or another. And I think that behavior should continue, not just be from the beginning because I want you to change.
That's right.
But as you grow, you continue to grow together, and we both still see the changes and we flourish in those changes so that we can be better companions for each other. Otherwise, we're still gonna find ourselves at a disadvantage, godly or not. And it's just gonna be the truth of the matter.
It's just the truth of the matter, man. Hey, man. And when I find that godly one, yeah, man, she got me, goddammit. I bet you that.
She got you.
She got me, man. So real.
Cheryl said, "Why do you want to leave someone? Why would you want to leave someone?"
Sometimes you leave a motherfucker when you get tired of arguing, all this bullshit. It just get tired. You just get tired of it, man. You try to make it work, but it's always constant in your ear every day, all day with this bullshit and all that, man. People get tired. They get tired, man.
Wow.
They just get tired. Okay. Jealousy,
all that stuff,
unloyalty, unfaithful, all that shit, man. Hey, man, I ain't no motherfucker. I ain't finna let a motherfucker rest. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna be on my woman. So, because soon as you slack up, here go the problems. There go the problems.
So you can't slack up.
You can't slack up. You got to put the man's got to put their feet down, man. You got to put the feet down off real. Because if you let that shit, if you ain't put your feet, if you decide to put your feet down and 10 years later, you dead. You're dead. You should have did that shit 10 years ago.
Wow.
Come on, man, you're dead. She ain't trying to hear that shit no more. Come on, man, we don't got hold and all. You talking about now you want to put your foot down. Nigga, please. Come on, get the fuck on out of here.
That's tough. I hate to hear it, but that's man.
It's a proven fact, man. That shit ain't working, man. You gotta do that shit at the beginning, man. Just like we always say, it come from the household, bro. Yeah, it's got to get better, man. This shit got to get better, man. Relationship and all.
It's hard to teach your old dog new tricks.
Man, it definitely is. Yeah, it definitely is, man. I just fuck that. Yeah. I ain't trying to see no old dog no new trick. Fuck that.
Man, we gotta work on we gotta work on ourselves, man.
We got
I
to.
think if we build back the family dynamics, I think in building back the family dynamics, we start to create a sense of community again. We got in the black community a lot of households where the father is not present in the same household with the child. That makes a difference too. Even though we do have a lot of fathers who are active in their children's life.
Right, that's right.
But there is a big difference when that child's father is not in that home. People think that's not. People think it's okay, but he has to see his father go home or go somewhere else every single time they come together. That has an impact on the child. And you have to realize that these things change the dynamics because now you not only are separated from this child, you're teaching this child he can live without living with his child.
That's right.
He can do good without living with his child. It's okay for him to go and get another family and leave his child. You kind of inadvertently teaching that because you're doing well now. Even though you understand, maybe, I don't know what it was that caused you and the mother to leave each other, but it could have been something that could have possibly been worked out. However, one of you chose to leave or to separate, and now dad doing good. So naturally say, hey man, it was better for me to leave. So you say. But is it that you could have worked a little harder and helped change the dynamics of the relationship so you could have remained in the home versus saying, oh no, this better for me to leave here. Now if y'all fighting, that carrying
that's
on,
something
bro,
different.
I think y'all need to get. But if it ain't that, it is something that y'all would work out. I think you should work it out.
Work it out, right?
You're inadvertently teaching your kids a different way of life. That it's okay to be separated from my children.
Just like
it's okay to live in a different household.
Just like when a kid see his mom, see his dad beat on his mama, shit, he gonna grow up. Okay, it's okay for me to whoop a woman. Okay be to put my hands on a woman. No, it ain't. That shit is not.
That's why I think, man, we gotta get this relationship stuff down, man, which creates a stronger sense of community, especially in our community.
Right.
We got a lot of households where the father of many of those kids, although some men have stepped in to be stepfathers, but that's not always the good case in a lot of situations because you have men and you have this awkward relationship with dad still coming over down. Right. You got the son saying, "Hey man, he ain't my dad," and you get a kind of awkward
confusing this shit type.
Okay, I'm talking about stuff people don't want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, black men are participating in their children's lives, but many black men are outside of their children's home. They're not living in their home, same home with the black children. And then there are many stepfathers who come in to step up. However, they run into resistance because there are children there that's actively engaged with their father and not really saying, hey man, I respect you, but you ain't my dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How that make a man feel?
Yeah, that shit sad.
Like, hey man, I'm bringing food in this house and all that. And ain't nothing you could say to make him say, yeah, man, love you like it, that's tough.
That's tough.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to work, man, to start building our relationships, man. And whatever it is, if it's worth fighting for, I say fight for it. But if it's not, and you think it's gonna get worse, you might really need to get out of that. See
that's the problem going on in the household today, man. Mm-hmm. When you bring in another dude in, but what you didn't do. But now it's a problem because the kid, now you see this dude in there that took your place, but now you want to come around now. You want to come around. And this dude here now he don't took your place, take care of the kids all. Now you coming around, now the kids confused.
Yeah, that becomes an issue.
Guess who fault it is though? Ooh, come on, man. If I'm doing my thing, if this nigga gone and took his ass on, he ain't doing nothing for these kids or whatever, and I come in and take his place or whatever, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to, and now this nigga want to come back. Come on, man. Who fault that is, man? Come on, man. Yeah, man. Oh, but that's his dad and all. Oh, no, this finna be a problem.
This is a problem.
This is a problem. It's finna be a problem.
It is a problem, man. So
come on, man.
We definitely, man. We definitely have to try to work through some of the issues, man, that that lies within our family concept when we're looking at parents in a home, raising children of those homes, man. We gotta stop taking the easy route, getting out of the homes, man, and moving to other homes, and it looks like we're doing so
much better with the other home than what
that says some people don't realize from a psychological perspective. That says something to your child. It may even make them question, well, what's wrong with my mama? Well, why you couldn't stay in my house? Even though they may not ask these questions, you got to understand the subtle traumas that a lot of these kids face. Even if there's a man in the home, we still have this dynamic taking place, man. And we really have to be committed to really shaping this relationship and not just saying, hey, man, I'm going to get out of it because this ain't work for me. So how do we do that?
Man,
how do we keep
it just simple, man. You just gotta, like you say, communication, man. It's the key to all this shit, man. For real, man. If I know I love this woman, man, and I'm doing right, well, I'm not finna go nowhere, man. I'm not finna throw all my shit away, man, and just start over with this nothing. I'm thinking this somebody. No, I'm gonna work my shit where I got my history at. My kids at, man. I want to build my family back like it used to be, man. I don't want to start over, man. I'm gonna make this shit happen, man. Because guess what? I'm the man of the house. I'm finna put my foot down, man. We finna talk about this shit, man. Do this what you really want. But is this what you really want to do?
Yeah.
Come on, man. We gotta come to an understanding.
We do. Byron Johnson say, man, you must be committed.
You got to be committed.
I agree.
You got to be committed, man.
If there's no commitment, man, it just ain't gonna happen.
It just ain't gonna happen.
And we have to look at our community and see the impact based on the breakdown of the family dynamics in the Black community, man. When there were at one time always two-parent households. Greater percentage of the time there was a two-parent household in the Black community. And then you got all these social services that came along, which were kind of a catalyst into moving Black men out of the community.
But they targeting Black people.
Yeah.
They targeting us, Black people. Man, that's right. We gotta be forced to move out our house because the hood don't want men in there around our kids. What the fuck they do that at, man? They make it hard for us.
They'll give you money. But strategically that's a great plan. I mean, and it was able to divide the community.
That's right.
It was able to divide the community. Then it made it comfortable for a man not to be in his home with his children. I mean, some men, and we know we're not throwing a blanket over all Black men or all Black families, but we do know there was a start to all of this, separation of the family in our community, man. We know it was a start. And, when we move all the way up into these relationships, we got to look at all the other things that's been added. Traumas, that's been committed against some of the women, the traumas that's been committed, because they say he did, allegedly, doing men and women. So, there's the traumas that they bring with them to these relationships, man, that make the relationships very tumultuous. But I say, if there's no violence in a relationship, there's no abuse in a relationship. It's just that there are simple things or subtle things that I don't like that you do or you don't like that I do. Why don't we just communicate about that? Why we can't just get this stuff together, and kind of, see if we can work this here out. Otherwise, we're going to continue to break our community down as we've been doing. And the more we break our community down, man, the more likely it is we're going to find our young men taking the same path, tearing our community down by killing each other, just having babies, all that. You think of like some of these celebrities. You got, 9, 10 kids, and you got the money to take care of them, so you do that. But at the same time, you got all of these kids out in the community who haven't had interjection from their fathers because they followed a pattern. Their father went in the house, they were going to have babies, and their father, and they're not going to be in the house and all that. I know I'm guilty of the same thing, man. Finding myself in that place. So we have to start to work on us, man. how can we get through some of this stuff and maintain the relationships that we have with the individuals that we're with so we can continue to move forward.
Listen, man, let me tell you something, man. I ain't gonna admit, I'm admit that I'm fucked up. I ain't even in a relationship, I'm fucked up. I just that I in my last past relationship had me fucked up jealousy, don't trust nobody, all that extra shit, man. And it fuck, every time it fucked my relationship up. That jealousy shit, that accusing shit every day, all that arguing every day with a woman and shit. I know it ain't shit. Why don't you get tired of that shit? They already taking care of the kids and shit. We ain't in the household. Come on, man. Shit, that's my weakest, man. I got a trust issue. Yeah. And jealousy. And I know my mouth fucked up. And I gotta work on that. Yeah. I gotta work on that. I'm surprised my girl's still there, taking whatever I decided because she's a strong motherfucker. Yeah. But I gotta work on that shit. I gotta work on that.
I think all of us got work to do, man. If we're in a household with someone, man, I think we have work.
We have work to do, man.
We have work. I don't care how long we've been there. I think there are things that we have to start doing to rekindle that relationship. I know, you know, sometimes we have to set a fire under our own feet.
That's right.
Otherwise, man, we find ourselves at a disadvantage again. We're of age and we're out looking for another relationship, which is crazy. You think about that, man, being in a relationship with somebody for so long, then trying to find a new relationship.
Let me tell you something, but that's the worst thing that ever can happen, bro. That shit ain't gonna work, bro. You may think you over that relationship when you jump in there first, this new relationship, but at the same time you're gonna be thinking about your old relationship. And that ain't gonna work with this relationship. Because your heart is here.
Absolutely.
This here just I guess to make this mad, jealous, or whatever going with this, but you're gonna realize that this is not where I want to be at. That's true. I'm going back home. Absolutely. Straight up, man. Just say you just want to get you a piece of pussy. Okay, whatever you want to do, hey, go about your business. But I'm going back home. Come on, man. That shit ain't gonna work.
BJ said we have to be accountable for our own actions.
We got to.
We certainly do.
We got to. It ain't the majority is our fault.
Yeah. If we look at ourselves, and we have to in a relationship, we got to first look at our own selves.
We got to look at our own selves, man.
That's no different than when we started this conversation. We started talking about this young man who was in a forum, and he asked a question to the panel about sexual behavior between him and this woman. And this woman wasn't doing what he wanted her to do, give him some heat. And he said, you know, what should he do in contemplating leaving? The respondent on the panel says to him, hey man, that's a conversation you probably should have had a long time ago. You know, in so many words, this is what he says to him. You know, and what he does is he puts the ball back in his court. Say, hey man, you know, that's something you got to work out. Or you should have worked it out before you got way down this line, you know, and now you talking about y'all got an apartment together now, and I'm just being hypothetical. Y'all got an apartment and all of this, y'all got a car, y'all name and all this stuff, and you down here at this point, and you saying, what should I do? Now you gotta be accountable for you now.
Yeah, that'll make
that's
sense.
On you.
Yeah, that's on you.
You allowed yourself to get here, and you knew, you know, you wanted something else from somebody else. Or you either have to say, this is gonna settle with, and you know, I'm gonna just deal with this because this is who I want to be with. Otherwise, you're saying this is who I don't want to be with.
That's right.
You know, so
I'm not gonna be nowhere that I ain't happy with, bro.
Yeah, we gotta be accountable.
We gotta be accountable, bro.
And that goes both ways. It goes for the woman as well as the man. So we gotta do that, man. And hopefully, man, we can do that. And we start to conclude that, man, it's better that we raise these kids, and you know, and I ain't talking about people who are in volatile relationships and people are being traumatized. By all means, get out of those relationships, man,
right,
as soon as you possibly can. But when you're talking about little things that, you know, that you've dealt with for 30 years, you know what I'm saying? you have to say, oh man, it couldn't have been that bad. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Or you just, you and yourself now. So we have to work on these things, man. Otherwise, we find ourselves back at square one.
Back at square one.
Yeah, you looking for something that you've already lost. Yeah, man, that's it, man. We're gonna do some last words, Will. Moosey, man, we're gonna get out of here, man. We've been chopping it up for a minute, talking about relationships, talking about P. Diddy and the relationships that he had, and how relationships impact us, and what is it can we do that we can do to just fortify these relationships and move forward in the midst of all of our idiosyncrasies.
We got to first of all, we did, like I always say, it's communication, man. Yeah. We got to get better at communication, man. You know damn well you ain't gonna want nobody in that spot. So in order for you to not want nobody at that spot, you got to make it better. You got to communicate. So man, we got to get better at what we do, bro. Straight up, man, because this shit just sad how home breaking up, man, and leaving these women there by themselves with these kids, man. We got to get better, man. Communication, man, is the key.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I just want to say, man, relationship is work. It's work. You never know what baggage somebody brings to the table. But eventually you understand they got baggage. And at that point, you choose to either deal with it or live with it. One of the two. Better to deal with it. Y'all communicate, talk about it, and then live with it. Instead of saying, well, we're going to just live with it and get down the line and, your expectations are superseding your reality. So we got to get ourselves together, man. And what we're doing is trying to make it better for those who are coming behind us. Trying to make it better for our community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to make it better for all those who we're able to touch. So, ladies and gentlemen, be mindful of where you are. Not just working on relationships with your significant other, but relationships, period. Building bridges, not tearing them down. So that we'll have an opportunity to make better connections. We'll say, to Ms. Jones, say love.
To Kendra, I love you, baby, and I'm gonna get better.
Absolutely.
It's gonna get better, man.
That's a fact. I'm gonna get better. To all those out there who transitioned, I'm gonna say RIP.
One to all you women out there, man. Y'all keep y'all head up, man.
Keep your head up, ladies.
And Hood Table, Talk Back Table, man.
Talk back.
Once again, Thursday night, man.
Y'all check us out, man. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.